Welcome back. An important research report from Ambit highlighted 16 companies that are likely to deliver consistent revenue growth, and Pidilite is one of them. Though, of course, to be fair, we didn't need Ambit to tell us that. The brokerage sees a portfolio of opportunities for this company. They believe their core strength lies in building innovative products and executing these ideas. Bharat Puri, Managing Director, Pidilite Industries, who has long executed innovative ideas, is with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Puri. What a pleasure having you with us. Well, first, if you can begin by telling us how business is. Most shops have opened. Just everyone needs many of your products. So, was second quarter much better in sales?
Thank you, Lata. Thank you for having me. Yes, as far as the business environment is concerned, the overall picture pretty much remains the same. Actually, consumer sentiment correlates directly with the severity of the pandemic. Where the pandemic is raging or where it is in full flow is where you have issues. Where it is largely seen under control is where near normalcy has returned. So if I look at the big picture, rural India, small town India, a lot of the north of India, central India is near normalcy. The problems remain the big metros, the whole Mumbai metropolitan area. If you look at, for example, Chennai, you look at Pune, the whole Pune, and both Pune as well as PCMC, Surat, Baroda. So it's a one-to-one correlation. Frankly, as a consumer, you're confident if you believe that, listen, it's safe for me to go outside. Wherever consumers believe it is safer to go outside, business is better. Where they don't, business is not.
Okay. Mr. Puri, good morning. Can you give us some numbers? I mean, when you say rural India is near normalcy, what are the numbers like? Have you seen a growth, if yes, 5%, 10%? And what is your aspiration for the remainder of the year?
See, Sonia, that's a very difficult question because, frankly, this is a year where all of us are flying the plane visually, right? Every week, every morning I wake up and the first 1 hour we have an operational meeting where people are telling you what happened in X factory, Y location, Z place. So therefore, very, very difficult to look at and say, hey, listen, this is business as normal. Having said that, rural, small town India is pretty much back close to pre-COVID levels in most cases. In some cases, it is better because remember, there's also a lot of wholesale that happens from large cities. The Masjid Bandars of Mumbai or the Sadar Bazaars of Delhi are big wholesale markets that actually send to all over rural and small town India. When those are impacted, actually rural and small town looks even better than it actually is. So having said that, right now, let's say we're cautiously optimistic. On the bottom line is a very simple bottom line. Okay. When we flatten the curve, all our curves will start going up.
Okay. No, Mr. Puri, I don't think Sonia is asking you a specific number. See, in terms of volume, you were about 58% down in the first quarter when everything was locked up. Now, how much are you as a percentage of last year Q2? Are you 80% there, 90% there?
We're pretty much close to the pre-COVID levels. Okay. In rural and semi-urban. We may at times be a little ahead. In the larger cities, I think, let me tell you, as an overall market, I think we're at 90% levels if I was to look at the aggregate of India as a market. Now, companies like us who are larger, who have trusted brands, who have a countrywide supply chain, we go deep. We tend to gain in these periods because a lot of people are unable to supply, and also consumers turn to brands they trust in these times. So overall, I would say from a consumer and bazaar perspective, we would, to my mind, business would be anywhere between, let's say, 90 to 100% as we go forward, presuming things remain same. But as I said, this is a period of uncertainty. Every week my answer may be different.
Okay, since everyone's going digital, has Pidilite also increased its presence online, and what do you think the growth opportunity could be there from the e-commerce channel?
See, for us, there are two different. The consumer e-commerce has always been an area where we are focused, so it's not new for us. But having said that, we've really amped up our efforts. It's not big numbers, but in the first 3 months of this year, we've done as much as we did in the whole year last year on e-commerce. So clearly, that's obviously one of the areas. In an environment like this, we can focus on what we can control, and that's one of the things we can control, which is the whole digital environment. Okay. So we are amping up substantially there. We're also, and remember, in industries like ours, it is what I call a phygital world. We have to mix the physical with the digital. The fascinating thing is where now, we have a large carpenter database, we have a large masons and plumbers database. We're actually now doing digital meets on a regular basis with our carpenters, with our plumbers, and believe me, it's working fairly well. And, it's now the last mile connect, which we always pride ourselves on, is actually working for us digitally. And we've done over 200 digital meets with carpenters and therefore, we know how much of their labor is back, what's happening on their jobs, because there is a regular connect.
My God, this is impressive. We require more than a half an hour chat with you, Mr. Puri. Will the FY21 as a whole in terms of volumes be better than FY20? I'll tell you why. We couldn't get plumbers, so we had to resort to MCL at home. We couldn't get electricians, so we had to resort to more adhesives. More generally, there would be more penetration. So is FY21 better than FY20?
I don't think FY21 can be, because, all said and done, you've lost the first quarter.
Yes.
9 months versus will these 9 months be equivalent? My fingers are crossed, but let's say we're cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Having said that, we're seeing the categories, just as you've used MCL at home, wherever consumers are in a do-it-yourself mode, we're actually seeing a spurt. Like, for example, artist colors, and I don't know if the two of you are artists at home. I would encourage you. It's a very relaxing occupation. Our whole hobby colors and hobby craft business is actually growing by 50%.
Oh, okay.
So because people are, in places like Kerala, painting on walls has become a new, actually expressing your creativity on your home walls, not with paint, but actually as a painter. So we're finding lots of new trends. Obviously, as a manufacturer, it's for us to fuel the trends that we believe are longer term in nature. So really, for example, as my wife keeps telling me that, listen, if you're sitting at home, why don't you fix A, B, and C? I suspect a lot of wives are telling their husbands that, and that's helping very quick sales.
That's true, and these are great insights into what quarantine life is and what it could be, right? Chroma was telling us, I think a month back, that people are buying more karaoke machines. They've seen a big increase in that. So, and you're telling us that people are painting a lot more. So, I think we should also take up some of this, Lata, if we get
Sonia,
time.
you have a baby. You're being ambitious. Mr. Puri, I wanted to ask you, you all have made life easy with some very innovative products. Is there anything we should expect from your stable now? Now that you have time.
You will see, for example, as Pidilite is concerned, frankly, we have redone our innovation calendar in the context of the environment. But as we speak, we're just looking at launching. Now, while everybody is doing the sanitizers and wipes, we're not doing sanitizers and wipes for consumers. We are doing it for our tradesmen.
Oh, okay.
So we've launched a brand called Dr. Safe in Punjab and Karnataka, which is really, I have 200,000 carpentry contractors, another 100,000 waterproofing contractors, another 100,000 plumbers. Now, these are people who we are training in the use of these products, certifying them to be safe to go into consumers' homes, because consumers must feel safe when these people come into their home.
Okay.
And we're obviously giving them a full kit which they can go with and therefore themselves feel safe.
All right.
So, that's one example. Like this, as I said, the hobby and acrylic colors is another area. Therefore, we're obviously ramping up. We're looking at, we actually did in the lockdown period a tie-up with one of the popular web stroke e-commerce places, which is Mom's Presso, and did a whole thing around crafting at home with mothers and children crafting together at home.
Okay.
There's a whole set of stuff at Pidilite. We never rest.
Okay.
Oh, that's great.
Well, that's why you are Dr. Fix-It, aren't you? Thank you very much, Mr. Puri. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and we will look forward to the next chat as well. We're out of time actually on the show and borrowed from the next. Thanks a lot for joining us. Goodbye from the Bazaar team. Chartbusters coming up.